Recognizing that there is human suffering all over this world in the course of natural and human catastrophes, we ring our gong today in honor of 3 such places of struggle and suffering. We ring our gong first, as we have since July, in honor of the 7 children who lost their lives in federal custody in our detention camps. And we let its ringing those 7 times stand symbolically for those adults who have also lost their lives in these camps, those who remain in the camps, many separated from their families, and many now infected with COVID-19 or at risk of the infection. We also recognize those who wait in makeshift refugee camps at our border, waiting an asylum hearing. We ring our gong additionally once for the losses of the virus to the virus that we know by name. Worldwide this week, 35,834 people died from COVID-19. We hold in our hearts to all of those who continue to risk their lives to provide essential services, who suffer for loss of job, loss of security, and who are especially vulnerable to the disease. Finally, this Mother's Day, we ring our gong once for Black and brown lives in America and call out one name from among many. We ring our gong for Ahmaud Arbery. May we keep those we have named and their families in our thoughts and in our prayers. And may we ease the tide of human suffering this coming week, howsoever we can. God is not God's name, my pastor growing up would say, but our name for that which is greater than all of us and yet present within each. Call it love. Call it the interdependent web. Call it that urgent need to connect, a desire for healing and justice, the voice, the one that leads you to places of deep peace, sacrificial living, we call out and seek inwardly to connect to that presence, that lure, that thread of the holy that pulls us to one another and through the next until a whole is made of the weaving of all of us. This day was created out of love for mothers. One story was a founding by the heartbreak of a mother, of children lost to war. So much is like war in its carnage and senseless persistence. Poverty wages war on bodies and spirits. Sexism, racism, hate in all its narrow, twisted visions of difference and fear of difference. How many children do we lose? Body and spirit, to such things as these? And for how long do we lose them? No more lamentations. Put an end to them. God, in our love for mothers, may we learn to love their children, all of them. Flesh of our flesh, and all human bodies and hearts and minds, sacred, like temples, to that which is greater than all of us and yet present within each. I invite us into silence and a time of simple presence and listening. Please join me. May the prayers of our hearts be heard.